What if the only proof you'd ever existed in the world was a postcard? At the dawn of the 1900s, when oceans were crossed by steam and maps still held blank spaces, one man set out on a journey with no camera, no passport stamps, and no witnesses who would remember his name. All he carried was a pen, a stack of postcards, and a quiet obsession to leave evidence that he had been everywhere. Each postcard was small, cheap paper, faded ink, but together they became a trail across the planet. He mailed them from ports that smelled of coal and salt, from desert towns where the sun cracked the earth, from mountain stations wrapped in fog and iron rails. A card from Marseille, another from Alexandria, one stamped in Bombay, then Tokyo, then a distant island whose name barely fit the margin. On every card, the same ritual, a date, a few careful words, and a postmark that could not lie. Because the postmark mattered. Anyone could claim to have traveled the world, but a postcard, stamped by a foreign post office on a specific day, was undeniable. It was time and place fused into ink, proof that his boots had touched that soil, proof that his eyes had seen that horizon. Weeks passed, then months, then years. The cards piled up at their destination, sent to a single address, sometimes even to himself. Friends thought it was eccentric. Postal clerks thought it was pointless. But the man understood something deeper. Memory fades. Stories change. Evidence endures. Midway through the journey, the tone of the cards shifted. The writing grew tighter, the messages shorter. Storms delayed ships, borders closed without warning. Illness stalked crowded cabins. On one card, the ink trembled just enough to betray fear. On another, there were only 3 words, still moving forward. Then came the longest silence. For months, no postcards arrived. Had the journey ended? Had the sea claimed him? Had history erased another traveler without a trace? And then, one final card. Its edges were worn. The postmark faint but legible. The message was simple. The world is larger than fear. No flourish, no explanation, just truth. Today, those postcards survive as quiet artifacts of a time when travel demanded courage, patience, and faith in paper and ink. They remind us that before selfies and satellites, proof of a life lived boldly could fit in the palm of your hand. And maybe that's the point. If this story moved you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe, and tell us in the comments where you'd send your own postcard from.